Recently, I've started doing the Flameheart fleets again. And one thing I've noticed while doing them is that every person I came across, both experienced and new players alike, nobody knows how to do this thing properly. Oftentimes, we would struggle through the first wave and sink on the second. Or we would arrive at the event only to find that it was on the final wave from where somebody else was trying to complete it and sunk.
Repairs.
Welcome aboard.
Anyways, with each new crew I came across, I would always find myself explaining how to do the event. That's why I'm making this guide on an event that came out 6 months ago, to hopefully inform some of you of how to complete this event without sinking 3 times in the process. So if you find this guide helpful, leave a like and maybe even consider subscribing. I really appreciate it when you do. Also, that is not my ship. Yeah, I'll deal with it later. The Ghost Fleet consists of 4 waves. This guide will be made up of 2 major sections. The first part will cover the first and third wave, as they're both exactly the same. The second part will cover the second and fourth wave of the fleet. Though they're different, how you complete them is pretty much the same. Arriving at the Ghost Fleet, assuming it's still in the first wave, you may notice that there will be 10 ghost ships at all times. Each of these ships are weak, taking a mere 3 cannonballs to kill. However, they have some incredible firepower. Now, there's not really that much to go over for this specific wave. Apart from that, your maneuverability here is your best weapon. The ghost ships, while there is a lot of them, they can't turn that well. I would raise your front and middle sail and sort of just cruise around, turning your ship as needed to where you'll always have an angle on at least one ship. Just remember that you don't want to let more than 3 of these ghost ships have a cannon angle on you at any given time. Also, occasionally you will notice these little ghost things. They mark a storage crate or loot. However, in these 2 waves, only storage crates will be dropped and you'll want to pick them up. The most common reason people tend to sink on this wave is that they either drop their anchor or crash into the island. Let's try not to do either of those. So that's about it for the first and third wave, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the second part of the video. Now, both of these waves are different, and I'm not going to explain everything for them, I'm simply going to tell you how to beat them. These 2 waves are the main reason I made this guide, because many people tend to struggle on them. Waves, the ghost ships will now move in a side-by-side formation. This simple change greatly increases the difficulty of the fleet. In the first and third wave, you could easily pull up beside a single ghost ship, take it out, and suffer little consequence. However, during these 2 waves, if you pull up beside the ghost ship, you will get absolutely destroyed.
We're talking about dogs. Oh my gosh. Why are we beside them?
Trying to get in front of him right now.
No, like we gotta stop our ship. Like
Getting wrecked.
you guys are getting destroyed.
I just heard one.
Oh
I'm
my
dead.
gosh.
I'm done. I'm dead.
Now we're sound.
Yeah, it's just not the greatest thing to do. Another thing to point out is that ghost ships also have a wider cannoning range than the normal galleon, so they'll be able to hit you well before you can hit them back. However, there is a very easy way of going about killing them. Something a lot of people don't seem to know is that the ghost ships are not actually a free-roaming entity. If you were to fly up way above the island in the sky, about where Flameheart's skull sits, and look straight down into the ghost ships, and mark everywhere they went with a red marker, you would get something that looked a bit like this. Eventually, you would notice that all the ships are moving in circular patterns around the island. These are set paths in which the ghost ships cannot deviate from. Use this to your advantage. Since there's no real way of attacking these ships from behind, and there's no way of you surviving attacking them from the side, the best strategy would be to go and attack them from the front. You need to figure out which one of these rings the ghost ship is traveling on and then raise sails on top of it. That way when the ship rolls back around, you're in front of it, you have a cannon angle on it, and you can usually take it out before it can do anything to you. Typically for this to work, you have to have at least 2 people on cannons and someone on the wheel. Your ship can also not be moving at all. You also want to make sure that you're aiming for the flagship in the middle there. You do not want to shoot the ships on the side because, well, it's just a waste of time. These flagships tend to only take around 10 cannonballs to kill, so you should be able to take them out before they get anywhere close to you. The only real problem with this strategy is the Flameheart ship, the boss ship. This ship takes a solid 25 cannonballs to kill, which doesn't seem like that much, but for a ghost ship it's a lot, especially when it's coming straight towards you. Oftentimes you won't actually be able to kill it in time and it will go straight through your ship, causing a lot of damage. However, do not stop to repair, simply run over to the other side of the ship's cannons and shoot it from there. Now you're shooting it from behind. You should be able to kill it then. And with that, you've done it. Congratulations. If you haven't already, you can now go around and pick up all the loot. So, if you follow this guide, you will find that this may no longer be you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. I really appreciate it when you do. And it looks like that's all I have for now, so I'll see you next week. Goodbye.